Welcome back everyone to NASCAR Racing here at beautiful Darlington Motor Speedway. And today we have some beautiful throwback paint schemes that are happening, including this one for Greg Biffle, throwing it back to his Subway paint scheme. Actually looks pretty good. That's right, Bob. It does look pretty good. I actually do kind of like it. It looks very nice. Very simple. Freightliner luckily jumped on. Obviously their logo looks pretty close to the Subway paint scheme, so they also had First, who decided to jump on to kind of help bring in the colors, and so it looks pretty good there. So a lot of nice throwback paint schemes for the most part, and we're going to be going racing here in a little bit, have a little bit of practice, and then everybody is going to get mixed up in some qualifying. So we will bring it back for the race later on here today, but definitely a lot of cool throwback paint schemes that we'll be talking about for this wonderful Darlington night race. We'll be back. And welcome everyone to Darlington, the track too tough to tame, and multiple other names including. Well, we have a lot of nice throwbacks here as we go racing under the lights for the wonderful and very, I must say, rather beautiful spectacle of the Darlington Throwback Night Race. That's right, we got a lot of neat throwback paint schemes going on here, so let's go racing. That's right. We have a lot of different paint schemes going on, all of them very, very beautiful and meticulously made. And we go racing here today under the lights. Yeah, so Greg Biffle starting in about 30th, has moved his way up 26th, did some swapping here in what position these guys start. Only here in Darlington do we do this. We stop all the qualifying and just mix it up, which is actually a pretty cool way of doing it. So just random draws. So you got the very nice throwback there on the House on the 41. And we also have several other ones going on here as well, including that strange, Ricky Stenhouse there running a throwback to his Bristol All-Star Race car. Rather interesting, not sure why that's happening, but yeah, you do have that throwback. Definitely a controversial scheme to run. Definitely a lot of people hate that thing with a vengeance. Indeed, definitely controversial. Not sure why they're running that, but we'll see how he does for the rest of the night as you see the 43 car get loose. Yeah, we definitely don't want that to happen there, as we have 88 car going underneath 16. BJ McLeod underneath Greg Biffle there a little bit, and there we go. And we got caution out. Yeah, Greg Biffle kind of got hit from BJ McLeod, kind of came down on him, and that kind of set him off somewhere. I'm not sure totally what happened there, but fascinating. Big Biffle back in 21st, so going to be coming back to green. There we go. We have exactly, we'll see how many laps we have here at the line. And these guys have 22 laps remaining in the stage and 14 laps of fuel. Everybody's going to have to come down for a green light pit stop. See Chris Buescher here running in the top 20 as usual, so good job for him. Running up high on Bell there. Bell had definitely a high checkup. Not totally sure what happened there, but definitely a checkup from Christopher Bell. And you see also Austin Dillon, most likely another cause for that there. So you can't run below the groove, but honestly, if you want to stay in the groove, it is best to run in it and not try to run out of it. You have plenty of space on this track, especially in the back part of the track, but yeah, you really do want to run the groove for most of this race. So what do we have on tire wear? Well, tire wear, you're definitely going to be seeing right sides definitely wearing out a lot quicker, as a lot of people are going to be running up there next to the wall and depending on how much you're running in the groove or out of the groove, that's going to also change up how the tire wear goes as well. See Ryan Priest here kind of getting a friendly push from Biffle, and around he goes as Biffle kind of, and there we go, wreck. Oh dear, there we go. I'm not sure what happened there, but someone was flipping back there. And I say that looks like, yes, Greg Biffle is coming to pit. Greg Biffle has pitted. Alright, so that's going to be interesting. So where's that put him in fuel strategy? So let's see, 18 laps of fuel remaining for him. Looks like about 16 laps left in the stage. He also has new tires. I'm not sure if the rest of the field will be able to make it, so everyone else is still going to have to pit here later on in the run. So Greg Biffle has a bit of a fuel advantage now. They got that damage cleaned up pretty well. But yeah, I'm not seeing that as a benefit to the rest of the field. I'm rather surprised that nobody else decided to come. See, those new tires really working out pretty well for him there as he's moving from the last position up. Doing a good job at it too. And you see Rick Stenhouse Jr. got quite a bit, along with Ryan Newman, of that wreck. Obviously he had a car flying in the air. That was Ryan Priest. Luckily that car did land on all fours, and so a huge wreck as someone got underneath Biffle. I'm not sure who did that, but Biffle got hit and was spinning around there. Definitely unhelpful. And we're going to have to move on. That's right, fascinating. So Greg Biffle, obviously a bit of a hit there. Not sure what totally happened, but definitely not what anyone was wanting to see. Yeah, those cautions are definitely not helping. You did see who took advantage of that, though. Kyle Busch and others went ahead and pitted from the front, so they're all going to be wanting to head back towards the front, along with Chris Buescher there, who also pitted. You see who has the speed, at least right now anyways, and that's Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has a lot of speed with those new tires. A lot of field that they have to get through. Now, it's still a question, even with that caution. I mean, everyone is still about 2 laps down on fuel, so I really don't know if any of these guys can really make it on fuel. Greg Biffle is loose there, trying to get back into the groove. 7 cars going around. Greg Biffle's trying to stay low, trying not to get into anybody here, not having the best success on that. There he goes, heading back to the front, getting past his teammate there, Newman. Getting past the 7 car, which is having some sort of issue. Not sure what's going on with him. We'll get past the 43 here, and then on past the number 96. Yeah, so obviously a rather eventful race so far. We're not even past the first stage, and this is how many issues have happened so far. We've had over 3 cautions due to a rather severe amount of wrecks. So amazingly, all the cars are still running, some with quite a lot of damage on us to admit, but what do we have? Well, the main thing I'm looking at now is fuel. Because even with those 3 cautions, as you said, there is not much of a chance that any of these guys can make it all the way through without pitting. There is not much of a chance of that. So it's going to be interesting as you see Greg Biffle there getting behind the 13, kind of pushing him up towards the wall. And 13 has quite a bit of damage there as well. We have the Wood Brothers car up here. He's also going to get a bit of a push here. Ryan Priest running back up in the top 15 there. 12 as the 21 goes around. Did not break enough, looks like. Priest having a bit of an issue there as well. Has lots of damage from that last wreck. Did not pit though. And he's up in 11th. So a rather strange mix of racing here, as almost everyone has been involved in an incident and having mechanical issues. Exactly, so we got a lot of wild cards in the back and some wild cards in the front here as we keep moving up to Greg Biffle. So a lot of the big names, they pitted there on that last caution to get fuel. So they are clear, but everyone else, I'm still pretty sure everyone else has to pit. Either right before the end of the stage or thereafter. Greg Biff will get into the pole there a little bit more. One thing that Greg Biffle is wanting is for his car to loosen up. We heard that because that helps him get around the corner a little bit more once the rear tires start sliding. So it actually helps him to be able to get around these turns. Yeah, definitely a loose car definitely helps you get that top line. Oh, dirt knowledge there. So loose car is definitely what he's wanting. And everyone comes down the pit road except Martin Truex Jr. who moves forward. So there we go. That is what I had predicted. Everyone still had to come down for fuel. A few other cars in the back, but that now that there's less cars back there, that's going to open everything up. Chris Buescher in the 4th position there and coming up pretty quick. That's right, all those cars that already pitted got 4 tires. That is going to help them immensely. As Martin Truex Jr., your leader, now comes down to pit road, leaving it wide open to Greg Biffle in the Subway Throwback. Very nice, very nice Throwback. A bunch of others actually pitted though as well. Yeah, we're checking it out. So Joey Logano now in the 2nd position. Chris Buescher, Joey Gase, and Matt Kenseth. Those are the guys that pitted. Don't see Kyle Busch, who was really charging up the field quite quickly. I think he might have had a bit of a tire rub issue, so hopefully they can get that fixed. But yeah, that Greg Biff was really enjoying it, having a bit of a few of the stripes though. Donington stripes not being rather helpful, but he's gotten that car where he likes it. So he says that it's nice and loose and getting around the top lane quite nicely. So that really helps out him. Exactly. So what exactly do we mean by loose? Well, pretty much what the thing is that when you run in that top line, you want your rear tires to kind of step out. You want there to be a little bit of drift in the rear end of this car. You want the front end to be nice and tight, but you want to be able to use the force of the tires to keep you from going up into the wall. And so you get a little bit of a slide through the turn that actually gets you a little bit more speed. As you're turning, each time you turn and give it a bit of a wiggle, you actually gain more speed going out of the turn. So rather important. And also, for the most part, if you're good at it, you'll stay out of the wall. Greg Biff has a little touch right there. So it's been a while since he's raced at Donington, so kind of expected that he wouldn't be proficient, but the car has stayed in the front for right now. And looks like he is really enjoying how the car is handling. The rear end kind of came out there out of turn, and that's the one thing you don't want. While through the turn, you don't mind a little slide, but well, it's except for when you do that. But out of the turn, you definitely don't want any rear end slide as you're coming out. That's definitely not something you're looking forward to. And there we go, as Greg Biffle takes the first stage win. And there's your top 10, or rather, pretty mixed up top 10. Honestly, as we look at the points, Kyle Busch nowhere to be seen, it looks like. Oh, actually, Kyle Busch is right there in 4th. Fascinating. So, obviously, a lot of people pitted. Look at all the people that have pitted, rather fascinatingly. So, what do? Everyone's going to be taking full fuel tires, and I would suggest repairing any damage you have and making sure that's all fixed. And there we go. Greg Biffle has lost 2 spots, but he is doing fairly well in this race, as it is throwback night in Donington. Yep, going down there below Kevin Harvick to get that lead spot. There he goes, and he has it. But he's got someone else fighting back, Kyle Busch there. And into the wall he goes, too aggressive. And once again, another night ends for Greg Biffle. Yeah, those walls are not a nice thing whatsoever. And so, yep, he looks like he's coming down to pit road there. He's going to have a lot of damage to get fixed. His day is done. That is a real bummer there for the 16 team. Had a great night, great finish in stage 1. Stage 2 ends with this. Yeah, the hood's totally messed up there. Yeah, there's no way he was gonna be able to salvage that. So, huge bummer there for the 16 team. Once again, another DNF, which they've been plagued with, unfortunately, this season. So, definitely a bummer there. So, there he is. That is definitely a sad end to the race there. What is amazing is that we are still under green. And Kyle Busch is your leader, so we'll have to find out who wins in the end here. So, definitely a disappointing finish there for Greg Biffle. Indeed, so we will be back with the end of the race right after this. Well, that was disappointing, guys. Yeah, went too aggressive onto that turn trying to get under. Kyle got bumped in into the wall you went, so bummer. Same thing happened to Charlotte too, except we finished a little bit more. That's really unhelpful. Alright, so let's take a look at the results here. So Cole Custer won, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher in 4th, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Joey Gase, Brad Keselowski, and Jimmy. Wow, okay, so there we go with that. I'm going to check the standings here. What do we got? It looks like Ryan Newman's in the kind of in the spot to be able to get in. It's kind of hard to tell with how all of these how these points work, but we'll see who gets into the 16 once we get to Dover. But that's that was disappointing. So now we gotta go to the Daytona 400, so that will be next up. But yeah, kind of a disappointing end once again. So let's see here. DNF. Yeah, that's a disappointing season, honestly. So yeah. Well, hopefully we can do better at Daytona, but I doubt it. So, alrighty guys, thanks for watching Return of the Biff. Hopefully we can have a more interesting race next time without wrecking. That would be helpful. But I do kind of like the DNF. It is a little bit of that realism, which is kind of nice. So, obviously I need to tone back my racing. But yeah, heading to the 400 next, and we'll see what paint scheme I can come up with for the 400. That'd be kind of cool. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.